Good afternoon and thanks for joining us. An inmate who escaped custody near Duck Lake just over a year ago is back behind bars. Albert McKay escaped from the Willow Cree Healing Lodge on the Beardies and Okamesis First Nation on March 1st of 2025. He was serving a sentence of just over 3 years, 2 months for break and enter and assault at the minimum security federal institution. McKay was arrested by RCMP in Portage La Prairie, Manitoba yesterday afternoon. The Correctional Service of Canada and the Willow Cree Healing Lodge are investigating the circumstances around his escape. A house fire in the RM of Corman Park where one person was found dead is under investigation. RCMP say they were called to a fire at a rural property in the RM at around 4:45 yesterday afternoon. Local fire departments also responded to fight the fire. RCMP say one person was found dead at the scene. They say the person has been tentatively identified and their family has been notified. The Saskatchewan Coroner's Service will confirm the person's identity. Fire investigators with Saskatchewan Public Safety Agency are working to determine the cause and origin of the fire. RCMP say it is not a police investigation. Saskatchewan Cooperative Fishers is hosting a meeting in Prince Albert to discuss big changes in the future of inland fishing industry in northern Saskatchewan. The federally owned Freshwater Fish Marketing Corporation, established by the government to market freshwater fish from inland Canada, is heading toward privatization. First Nations and Métis partners from around Saskatchewan and Manitoba, along with Saskatchewan Cooperative Fishers, have placed a bid for the company. Saskatchewan Cooperative Fishers says the industry is vital to culture and economy in the north, and the fishermen should have a voice when it comes to the market.
That's our livelihood. That's how we were raised. So that's the whole thing that's happening here. They're going to be, there's a technical committee that's going to be explaining what we've done so far, where things are at, so that the fishermen hear, and we'll get input from them as well. But that's our goal, is to make an efficient, productive company again.
Well, it's not a done deal. The company says it's hopeful that continued lobbying will pay off. CTV has reached out to Fisheries and Oceans Canada for a response. So, Jeff, we redid the carpet around Saskatchewan, went with a color shade of white.
Yeah, we certainly did, and it was a little bit more snow than maybe we had anticipated. But the good news is that it covers up the ice, and so it makes things even more dangerous. Yes, that's the good news. No, that's not good news at all. You still have to be very careful out there. What we can tell you, though, we still expect to see a little bit of bump up in the temperatures before we see a cool weekend, and we'll tell you how cold that weekend is going to be in just a bit.
Well, the University of Saskatchewan is distinct in many ways. There's one special designation being highlighted right now as the drama department marks the 80th anniversary. These faculty members at the U of S Drama Department are part of 8 decades of history on campus. The importance of the program is well documented because it was the first degree-granting program for drama and theatre in the British Commonwealth. It also boasts a high work placement in the arts with close ties to companies like Shakespeare on the Saskatchewan. Famous alumni who have gone through the program include Kim Coates and Eric Peterson of Corner Gas.
So we were the first to sort of legitimize what it means to study theatre and performance and dramatic arts. So when we look across Canada, there's lots of different theatre programs, but to think about that here in the prairies, we were the very first. That's huge.
To mark the 80th anniversary, the next set of performances at Greystone Theatre feature original works by alumni of the program, and many reflect local themes. The run starts March 19th. A small Saskatchewan lake town south of Prince Albert is seeing big entrepreneurial spirit. Female entrepreneurs are shaping Wakaw's business scene, bolstering the lake town, preparing for the summer rush. From Sonder Salon, Espresso Cafe, and Cornerstone Care Home, women are stepping up to fill gaps in the community. When Kimberly Cooper moved to Wakaw, she quickly noticed the vibrance of the local businesses.
And it's all these really awesome females that start their own businesses. So I just noticed that and admired them and recognized that this little community of Wakaw has a really great thing going on.
Cooper estimates 80% of the independently owned businesses along Wakaw's main strip are owned by women. Coming up at 6, we'll meet some of those entrepreneurs. Residents in several east side neighborhoods in Saskatoon may notice a drop in water pressure over the next few months as the city works on upgrades to infrastructure. The city says it will start work on the Acadia Drive primary water main on March 23rd, which could take up to 8 weeks to complete. As a result, people might notice their water pressure drop by about 40% in Brevoort Park, College Park, Wildwood, Lakeview, Rosewood, Lakeview Suburban Centre, Lakewood, Briarwood, Greystone Heights, Eastview, and College Park East. The water will still be safe to drink and outages are not expected. Producers have a new option for addressing ongoing issues with elk herds when prevention methods are unsuccessful. The province will issue 8 depredation permits that allow special targeted elk hunting on land with a demonstrated history of damages from congregating elk. There's no cost to producers for the permits, which can be used between mid-January and March of next year. They're valid for either the affected producer or a single designated hunter and are not an open hunting opportunity. The results of the first year will be used in future planning.
We know those numbers are high. We've heard from our colleagues, we've heard from municipal leaders that, there's herds of 300 and 400 out there. And, we know of cattle ranchers that are rolling out bales and the elk are there. It's almost 1-to-1. And so obviously it's a challenge. So we know where those areas are. We'll work with our crop insurance folks and the producers will make their application and we'll put the tags out through our regional offices. The work you do.
The Saskatchewan Wildlife Federation says it's a stopgap approach that doesn't address the root causes of the issue. They caution the province in how the tags are awarded to prevent privatization of wildlife resources and encourage other prevention methods, along with better access for all hunters. Still to come on CTV News, part 2 of our interview with the Prince Albert Skating Club. Jasmine Pelche learns about the history of the club and its programming.
We are at the Leisure Centre with head coach Carla from the PA Skate Club to find out more information about the club and the kind of programming that they have. So hi, how's it going?
Hi, good, thanks.
So we are at the Leisure Centre here. How long have you guys been skating out of this arena?
We started last April when it first opened. We were pretty much the first ones on the ice, I believe, so pretty exciting.
What was the transition to the new space like?
It's still kind of ongoing. We have our coaches room where we've been able to kind of decorate it how we want. So it's still in motion, and we still have a few things at the other rink that we'll be moving over shortly. And it's been fine, though. It's been good.
I know we're kind of coming up on the end of your season here, but I think, better late than never. How many members, how big is PA Skate Club?
It's actually more than 300 members. Yeah, we have all age groups from 3-year-olds right up to adult groups who are, well into their 50s and 60s even. We offer about 8 or 9 different programs, from the Learn to Skate preschoolers through our Skate Canada Can Skate programs, up into we have power skating as well, and adult Learn to Skate, as well as the figure skating program. So we offer a ton of different opportunities.
How long are you guys out here? I guess how many days a week?
We are out here 5 days a week. I believe I spend about 24 hours on the ice with all those sessions, and it's a variety pack, so it's busy. It's very busy. We have a coaching team of 5 professional Skate Canada coaches. We also have 2 that come from out of town to help us a couple times a week. And we have a power skating coach who is very, very good and uses some of our team coaches as well for power skating camps. He runs a huge power skating camp in the fall for our club. And we do a pre-power and power skating group sessions throughout the year as well.
How long has the skating club been active in PA?
It goes way back to probably late 50s, early 60s for sure. It's been around a long time. I was a competitive skater with the club. I did leave and I lived in Saskatoon for about 3.5 years, but other than that, I've been part of the club always. So. We're getting some skaters that are getting back into the competitive end. Our recreational skaters also have opportunity to go to competitions. So we always have a regional event, as well as we just got back from a provincial event actually this past weekend. We were in Swift Current for that one this year. There are 2 other events that some of our skaters, it's kind of pick and choose and who's ready for which events. We sent 4 skaters to Winter Games this year, so that was pretty awesome. And probably in the future, I think we'll have more and more competitive skaters as well.
What does the rec program look like compared to the competitive program?
Well, in both programs, they have to do testing. In the recreation program, the goals are more set around the testing and more of the funner competitions like regionals and whatnot, and then preparing for the year-end show. Everybody, all the kids, regardless if they're competitive or not, look forward to that.
Then what does the competitive sort of stream look like?
So they have higher expectations. They need to be on the ice a lot more than the recreational skaters. They have off-ice priorities as well. And their season goes a little bit different than the rest. They have to be on the ice after our season ends, into the spring and our off seasons, which now that we're at this facility, we're able to have our ice much longer than ever before. So that's pretty nice for them too.
Have you found that that's made a big difference when it comes to training?
Well, this is our first year in, but yes, last year was very different for us. We're used to, most of us coaches have the full summer off usually from the end of April. We're finished till mid-August. So last year we were able to go right till the end of June and started mid-August again. So we had a shorter break, but that's fine.
Yeah, I mean, it's something you love to do. Yeah. So if someone's looking to find out more information about the skate club, where can they go?
So our website is called Prince Albert Skating Club. All the information of all of the programs will be on there, and we normally start registration for our fall classes in probably beginning of September.
All right, great. Thanks for having me out.
Thank you.
Jeff will have a look at the weather right after the break, plus calls to lower the age for colorectal cancer screening. So, Jeff, we had ourselves a little bit of a storm last night, but nothing like they're going to be getting out east.
Out east and parts of British Columbia, too. There's other parts of Canada outside of the Golden Horseshoe in Northern Ontario and Quebec that are going to be inundated by inclement weather. We're going to start off with the West Coast. So just off the coast here, a big, cold, unstable air mass full of moisture, and so there could very well be rain, snow, risk of some hail there, some soft hail and regular hail. And so it's a messy situation for parts of British Columbia. Now, higher elevations are going to be getting some snow. That's great for the ski resorts, but it's going to make travel a little more difficult. So this low is going to be developing off the coast of BC, and it sort of slides across the prairie provinces over the course of the next few days. And so we could certainly see some active weather. And then a second low is going to begin up in parts of northern Alberta, and that's going to make its way across the north as we make our way into Wednesday and Thursday. So a couple of systems coming through. And as John was alluding to, this is going to be a really ugly situation in Ontario. Rain, snow, freezing rain in particular. So there's definitely going to be power outages. There are going to be flight delays. So if you have travel plans that are taking you through Pearson or through one of the Montreal airports, best to check ahead because there's likely going to be some serious cancellations there. So take a look at our futurecast. So as I said, got a little bit of snow coming across from Alberta into northern parts of Saskatchewan. Not anticipating a lot in the way of accumulation. Of course, I said that yesterday. Then we've got ourselves not a really windy day. The winds sort of shift around. We'll talk about that more a little bit later on. Minus 16 overnight for Spiritwood, minus 13 in the Battlefords, minus 22 in Candle Lake and Nipawin. So yeah, it's cold out there. Minus 18 in Birch Hills and Roster, and minus 19 in Melbourne. Most places dealing with mainly clear skies. Now there is a chance, some places a chance of some freezing rain and some fog patches showing up. But then as we roll into tomorrow, temperatures in some places at or above seasonal values. That's certainly true of the Battleford's, 1 on the plus side, -2 for Spiritwood, -4 in Candle Lake and Birch Hills, -3 in Rostron, and -5 the expected daytime high in Nipawin and Melfort. So that's slightly below seasonal values for those two communities. For the Gateway City, dropping down to a rather chilly -21 degrees, mainly clear skies. The wind chill won't be as nasty as it might have been with even just a few more clicks in terms of speed, but the winds out of the north 15, shifting around east 10 after midnight. And then -3 degrees tomorrow, which is pretty much seasonal for this time of year for Prince Albert. Winds out of the northeast at 10, which isn't strong, but it's backing off in the afternoon, so not much in the way of wind. And then it cools off again, -6 on Thursday, -11 on Friday. Saturday, -12, -10 on Sunday, so a stretch of 3 cold days in a row there. -9 on Monday, that's still below seasonal, and so is Tuesday at -5, but -5 is manageable, and it comes with a 40% chance of some flurries.
And I'm reminded, Jeff, of the the Simpsons episode where Bart sneaks down early and tries to play with his Christmas gifts and ends up burning down the Christmas tree. He runs it out to the front yard and tries to bury it in the snow. So that's what everybody's probably doing with that fresh blanket of snow.
There you go. That's exactly right. That's what everybody's doing.
Exactly. All right, Jeff. Well, a Canadian-made AI humanoid robot hopes to spur more investment in the field of machines performing tasks in human environments. John Venavalli, Rao has more.
So this is MH3. This is our 3rd generation humanoid.
Tarek Rahim was happy to show us his company's most recent humanoid, a made-in-Canada machine with arms, hands, and a head.
But this is purely Canadian.
100%, yes.
Developed in Cambridge, Ontario by Mercy Robotics, the goal is to start putting the so-called MH3 to work next year, initially doing repetitive and mundane jobs in industrial settings. The robot has vision and can locate and lift objects like this water bottle, placing them precisely where they need to go.
And that sounds simple, but it's actually very technically challenging to pull off.
And amid an explosion of AI-driven advancements, Rahim thinks something bigger than the automotive revolution is about to hit.
I can't wait for what's coming ahead. It's really exciting.
Recently, Kung Fu robots in China became a viral sensation, a flashy example of how fast the technology is moving. There have also been test projects with humanoids in the home, though many still need guidance from operators off-site. And it was recently announced that several of these people-like robots will begin working at a Toyota assembly plant in Woodstock, Ontario. They were built by a company based in Oregon.
It has been wild. The amount of interest and investment and competitors that have just emerged in the last 2 years has been mind-blowing.
Rahim has been working on robots for almost a decade, starting with this earlier humanoid, and now arriving at a 3rd version that notably doesn't have legs.
Why not legs?
So legs actually don't make a whole lot of sense. They chew through power just standing, and they're inherently unstable, whereas wheels give you triple the battery life, and you cannot easily knock this guy over.
Mercy has around 10 employees, but plans to double that. All of the major components are built in Ontario. And with China surging ahead, Rahim thinks the federal government should do more to support the sector.
Now we're just seeing this tremendous growth because of all the interest in the industry.
With Mercy hoping to mass produce its own robot in the coming years. John Venavalli Rouse, CTV News, Cambridge, Ontario.
Do you have a community event you would like to promote? Or maybe you'd like to draw attention to your organization. Let your local CTV station help you spread the word. Contact us at 306-922-6020 or email panews@ctv.ca. You can appear on CTV Prince Albert's News at 5 and get your message to our viewers.
Colorectal Cancer Canada is calling to lower the screening age to 45 for average-risk Canadians.
Over the last decade, more than 18,000 Canadians under the age of 50 have been diagnosed with the disease. These are people in the prime of their lives, raising families, building careers, and contributing to their communities. And far too often, their cancers are diagnosed too late because routine screening begins too late.
The organization says the change would reflect a rising rate of the disease among younger adults. The Canadian Cancer Society reported in November that colorectal cancer was expected to be the 4th most common cancer in Canada in 2025 and the 3rd leading cause of death from cancer in both men and women. Workers in healthcare disciplines are eager to see how the province's new healthcare plan will affect them. As part of the province's Patient First plan, the scope of work for many will be expanded. This includes pharmacists, optometrists, and nurse practitioners who will be given more power and responsibility. Pharmacists will be able to prescribe and assist with minor ailments like strep throat and ear infections to take more people out of waiting rooms during cold and flu season. And nurse practitioners will be seen in urgent care centers and emergency rooms, as well as working in rural areas as primary care providers.
Is it going to be perfect next week? No, we need to make more professionals. There's not enough people yet, but I think we have a really good plan in that, we're creating more, and that scope is there, and NPs can definitely be utilized to help carry some of that burden.
Giraudier says the plan will greatly improve efficiency across the system.
Brought to you by Saskatchewan Union of Nurses. Thank you to Saskatchewan's 11,000 registered nurses.
All right, Jeff, what better way to ring in your 85th birthday than to cycle 85 laps?
It's partly a denial of the aging process. I don't want to believe it, so I keep going until, I get so old and stupid I can't find a bike.
Jim Gilchrist is a retired oncologist living in London, Ontario. He celebrated his birthday by doing 85 laps at the local cycling track. Gilchrist says he wanted to raise some awareness for both the facility and to keep the sport going. And boy, that's pretty impressive stuff. I've been on like a running track that has those banked corners once, and I always thought it was so cool hitting the corner as hard as you could and trying to go horizontal as you sort of rode with the G-forces. But
you know what? I didn't know if they still had those kind of banked tracks for racing. They used to about at the old Lions Arena in Saskatoon many years ago.
Lots of roller derby probably took over in terms of popularity.
Skinny Minnie Miller, woo!